Yo, man, what's good, baby? So we're closing out this week 4, and I don't really have too much to talk about these last games, man. I got a little rant that I was gonna edit yesterday and do all that and post it and everything like that, but I was like, man, you know what? Let me give it a day, man, because I think I have something to talk about with these lines, man, and just a little, a little, not a big rage, just a little rage, man. We're gonna get into it, man, and y'all stay tuned.
See, I did it.
All right, man. So we have all right. So the Bucks and the Patriots. I had the Patriots to win. They actually made it a pretty tight game. It was 19-17 Bucks to win, and I'm glad Bill got his. I couldn't even say his ass beat. I mean, he just got beat. That's it. It wasn't no like super smash out or nothing like that. It's actually a pretty close game. Now, as far as the Chargers and the Raiders, I had the Raiders to win, man. That was my prospect. That was one of the games I wanted to watch. And Chargers end up doing their thing and holding that game to a 28-14 to the end, man. And it was wild. It was crazy. I wasn't able to watch all of it. I was able to watch like the first half yesterday, and then I ended up watching the back half earlier today. And I mean, it was a good game. So let's get on one of the things that I've been just cringing about, man. The Lions, and I had big hopes and obviously I was fanboying, you know what I mean? Every time, every 3 years when we get a new uh head coach and DC and OC and stuff like that, and we start progressing a certain way. And I did the same thing when Fat Boy was in there, and I had high hopes for him as well. Now, if we could have did all this and kept Stafford, we would have been winning games by now. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not like not much change on the contract or nothing like that. And we still had a good position. And I know they were trying to set up for the future and all that kind of stuff. But and Stafford needed his way out. He needed to go, man. And he ended up getting his first loss this week to the Cardinals, man, 37-20. And, they really got those last 7 points towards the end. But it goes to show that, man, everybody's beatable. I really had the Rams to go 16-0 this year, man. They look so stout, but the Cardinals are a very tough team, man. They're very stout, and they went 4-0 now. So, but as far as the Lions, man, you just got bad decisions going on, and maybe that's the case with Dan Campbell just being a new head coach, inexperience. You know what I mean? Which every one of the other head coaches had to have some type of experience and losses, and then 2-3 years down the road, which it's expected to be that way when you're talking about a whole team revamp. You know what I mean? And the Lions pretty much need to do everything. And then Goff is, they were talking about, which I had kind of hopes for him doing good, and he's been all right. I mean, he threw for 300, but man, when you have 2 fumbles in the red zone, and I think man, you're giving up 21 points just right there, man. And when you're talking about 21 points that you gave up, I mean, dude, you lost 24-14. And let's say, fumbles happen, whatever, and it just so happens to happen on us. But why didn't you just kick the ball instead of going for 4th and 1 or 4th and whatever it was? You know what I mean? You're talking about 9 points at that point. And if you would have got those earlier in the game, man, it could have been a way different story, a way different picture. I mean, you're talking about 14, that's 23 points to 24, man. You're talking about fighting for a field goal at the end instead of just, I mean, pretty much you just gave up, And I wasn't able to watch the game. I watched some highlights and stuff like that, and it's just, man, it's so depressing, so disappointed, man. And I'm almost glad I didn't get the Sunday package because I would have been out like $300. You know what I mean? For the next 4 months, man. And it's just, if they start winning, that'd be a different story. But now You're 0-4. You're 0-4, man. Now, granted, another thing that is still just biting me in the ass is you won that game against the Ravens, man. You literally did, man. I'm giving them that one. They're 1-3, man. There's no way you don't call that penalty. They back up 5 yards. You know what I mean? Then they got to fight for that. Come on, man. They got to fight for how he would have made that kick. He barely made the kick he did, and he's over there on the news and acting all hype up like he meant to do that. Man, you kicked as hard as you could to hit the crossbar, and it literally went in. If it was just a fraction of an inch or a centimeter or whatever it was back a little bit, you would have hit that goalpost and it would have went straight down, straight back to you. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, that was luck. I mean, yeah, you had a powerful kick. You do have some, some skills and stuff. But man, you talking about, was it 66 yards? Dude, put your foot into it and just see where it goes, man. That's all you can do at that point, man. That's how most of them happen, at that distance when you do record breaker stuff like that. But y'all shouldn't even been able to be in that position for a kick, dude. You know what I mean? Like, y'all shouldn't even been in that realm at all, dude. And it kills me, man, because that's every year we always get 3 to 4 games where the refs just kick us in the ass. How are you going to let 2 to 3 seconds or whatever it was go by after the play clock is done and not throw a flag? Back them up. I can't remember if it was 3rd down, 4th down or whatever, it's just week 3, man. I don't really remember what happened partially this week, So, I mean, it's just little things like that, man, that just kind of piss me off. And then when you go into a game against the Bears, which is supposed to be your game, everybody, I had buddies that don't even really care about the Lions. They had it as their pick to win. And man, the whole first half, you just ate shit. When in, week 3, or no, week 2, when you went against Green Bay Packers, you stopped Aaron the entire time for the first whole half, and then you let him come back and win. That should have been your game too. You know what I mean? Like, man, y'all got to get on a stride somewhere, man. Y'all scored those 17 points in the first half against the Packers, and then didn't score nothing else after that, I don't believe. And you held them to, 15, 16 points? You would have done the same thing in that second half and just, man, y'all got to throw the ball too, man. I understand when you got too many people, you can't do too many risk plays like that, but you have to do something. You know what I mean? And then you got, week 1 against the 49ers, which that was that was, not even gonna lie, that was a badass game right there, man. And y'all had a chance to beat the 49ers. You had a chance to beat Jimmy, man, and you gave that up at the end, You tried to come back, but whatever. So you had week 1 was a potential. I mean, you had the opportunity. Week 2, you definitely had the opportunity in the first half. Lions have always been a second half team, and you stomped it out in the first half. You're supposed to finish it in that second half, man. Y'all should have been 2 games won. Well, let's give Jimmy his due, but y'all should have had the Packers, and then y'all got cheated in week 3, and then the Bears was supposed to be y'all's game. Y'all should be 3-1 right now with a loss to Jimmy. You are now listening to Sports Plus Life with your host, Big Trav. Stay tuned. Man, y'all just cannot get it together. And it's so crazy because, man, you get all hate everywhere, man. ESPN and all sports talks and stupid shit like that, man. You get hate. And they're not, like, really, they're defining it off of this and this. I mean, man, when you watch them play, like, what's his name? I think he's on defense, man. He's already had like a whole bunch of picks. So Aquarier or something like that, man. He's bombing the shit out, and y'all try to give our defense coordinator some hate because he was screaming at the dude. I mean, he was coaching. He wasn't yelling. He wasn't demoting him as a man or nothing like that. And dude, ever since that time right there, he's been popping off on defense. I mean, he's been holding it together. But you go through all these things where you look at it and you're like, I mean, I'm watching these plays, I'm watching these highlights because that's mainly what I'm looking at. And you could see the defensive potential. Now, as far as stopping the run, dude, oh man, they've been looking good. But when you're talking about getting your guys in coverage, man to man, oh man, y'all are getting ate up and giving this boy too many yards. I think Justin Fields had like 2 plays was like 70 yards or something like that. I think he had like one for uh 40 or something like that, and then another one for 30 or something. You know what I mean? I mean, it's crazy. He's just racking up all these yards, and y'all can't cover him. And literally every time I'm watching the play by play, and I see Justin Fields to the right, boom, Justin Fields to the right, and y'all couldn't pick up. I mean, I was picking up on it on the play. I was like, yo, why ain't you doubling up? He's going to the same dude pretty much every time. You know what I mean? And then I was watching missed tackles and stuff like that. Like, man, that shouldn't happen at all, dude. And then Sewell, he was looking good, but he ended up getting a penalty on himself, and he was kind of slacking a little bit. But that's rookie jitters, man. It's can't do nothing with that. He's gonna have mistakes. He just has to work them out. In the next 2-3 years, he's gonna be crazy. And he's still crazy right now, man. But he's gonna be really well defined then. So in the talks of Jared Goff being a bridge or something like that, and then we should not give him a new contract. Dude, he's looking scared to throw it. Oh, he's looking petrified. I'm looking at his face as he's about to make these throws, and he's looking petrified, dude. He'd rather hand that thing off and let somebody run it, or do very short passes to gain those 4 or 5 yards, 10 yards, 11 yards. And I understand why you're trying to burn that clock down. Have possession time as long as possible for each drive you do, but when you're doing that, you have to get the yards, man. You're having incomplete passes. Now, whether that's the wide receiver's fault, that's your fault for throwing it behind, front, whatever, it's not clicking, man. And, you're talking about we're going into the next draft after this season, and there's nobody to draft at quarterback. I mean, look at who they got out there right now. All I hear when I'm talking to Big Steve, I think it was him I was talking to, and I think Brody. And then I seen a couple things on, news sports networks and stuff like that. And dude, you're talking about there is no quarterbacks in line to be drafted right now. They're all just not good. They're not doing anything. So now you gotta take another year with Goff. Now after that year, his contract's done. We can boot him. But who are we gonna have? You know what I mean? We're not gonna have no type of bridge to that. That year 3 that he's gonna be in when we're like, say, if we get a quarterback on Jared Goff's year 2, he can learn some things, teach some things, do whatever, bridge him over, and then that way, second year when our new quarterback goes in, it'll be Goff's third year, probably be gone by then for whatever happens to him. You know what I mean? And then he'll have some experience to kind of keep going from there. But man, we're not going to get it till after Goff's contract's done. And now is that going to be, to the Lions forced to give him a contract to keep him in to at least have a quarterback there? I don't know, man. I'm almost determined. Let's look at something real quick, man. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I don't want to keep y'all too long. Obviously, it's Monday football that we're going over, so it's nothing too important, too crazy, man. But let's look at some of the players, right? All right. So as far as quarterback, we got Jared Goff, and then I think his backup is David Blau. Yeah, I think that's him. You know what? I don't even know if I fucking. You got Tim Boyle too. And I think that's it. I think he only has 2 backups. And if I'm not mistaken, David Blau wasn't too bad in the preseason. Nah, maybe he was. You know what? I can't remember. But, I would almost, but they were throwing, though. That's the thing. I mean, they were throwing, At least they were doing that. And when I'm watching Jared Goff play, man, or when I see his highlights, it's like, I mean, he's timid, man. He's scared to do something. He wants to, like, throw off the ball, let him run it. And he had a good game, dude. Like, he had a good game, man. He had 300 passing yards or something like that, man. But his attempts to his catches were 38 to 24, 38, man. I mean, it's just, I thought he had an interception. I guess he didn't. I mean, I guess he had a fumble or something. Who knows what happened, Jamal Williams, he ran for 66. DeAndre Swift, I don't know what happened to Swift. He had 16 yards, man. I don't know if he got hurt or what's happening with him, I have no clue, man. I just learned about this like yesterday or something like that. They were talking about Swift not doing shit, and Jamal Williams had to pick up every bit of slack there was, man. But I mean, look at these guys, man. They're out of them yards, man. You got Cephas who had 83, 4 receptions. I mean, that's crazy. Amon St. Brown 70, 6 receptions. Raymond with 46, Hawkinson with 42, Swift got 33. You know what I mean? But with 4 receptions, but he didn't have no type of run game at all, man. He's talking about 16 yards, man. That's what your job. This is your main part of your job is to do that. You know what I mean? And Quarrier, that's what I was talking about. He had 1 interception. That's what it was. You are now listening to Sports Plus Life with your host, Big Trav. Stay tuned. I thought he had 2 for some reason. Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But man, it's just ridiculous, dude. We were all over the board, man. They had way more rushing yards. What am I talking about? I swear I thought they stopped. That must have been the last game when they were going against Green Bay. Yeah, they had 188 rushing yards. Holy hell, bro. And then you're talking about us just having 90. Yo, man. Yards per play, we had 5.2. They had 6.5. Total yards, they had 373 and 348. And you tell me you couldn't be in a closer game? I understand, red zone shit. It's whatever, dude. We lost 2 fumbles. See, that's even the other thing. Chicago had 7 penalties. You have 4. You shouldn't have even had them 4. See, well, you should have been 3. You shouldn't have been offsides like that. And then they threw an interception. If you wouldn't have had those 2 fumbles lost, let's say you even got 14 off of just the 2 fumbles. And then I think you had a turnover on 4th and 1 in the red zone or something like that. And dude, it's like add 14 to that. You're talking about 28 to 24. I mean, just missed opportunities. You just can't have that. We had more time of possession. 31 minutes, almost 31 minutes and a half. Like, that's crazy. It was about even. I mean, they had like 28, almost 29. But I mean, we had more plays. Just our 4th down efficiency was obviously dookie, dude. We went for 3 4th down attempts, got 1 of them, lost 2 of them. That's the other ones right there. Yeah. So 2 fumbles, lost 2 4th down conversions, man. They were 1 for 1. They only went 1 time on that. 3rd downs. I mean, oh my God, dude. 3rd downs is atrocious, dude. Really on both sides. They went 1 for 8 when they got to a 3rd down. We went 4 for 11, man. And, neither one of them was good. But even then, dude, it's just something crazy that just in my head just went sideways. And I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about it since the Ravens game that they went against them. And then, I've been thinking about it since they played Sunday. And I just wanted to rant a little bit, man. This ain't shit. It's just me talking shit. That's all it is, man. Just in my feelings. You know what I mean? I'm just in my feelings, talk. But we got a Vikings game next week, division game. Man, the way they're playing, I'm gonna have to give the Vikings the win, dude. It's just Vikings are probably gonna wipe our ass up, and we're gonna give you predictions Wednesday. I don't want to get too far into it. We'll give you predictions Wednesday. Like I said, we'll give you predictions Wednesday, man, and we'll try to bring Big Steve back on. We'll try to get Brody on this time and go ahead and do that. And as far as the numbers go, man, our predictions were kind of trash, dude. I went 6-10, I believe, and I think Big Steve took the win. He went 7-9. So I lost by 1. I lost by 1 win. It is what it is, man. Can't really do nothing about that. But like I said, we'll chalk this week up, week 3, to a loss to Big Steve. We're gonna go in a 3-way splitter for week 5, man. So be looking out for that. That's gonna come out Wednesday. All right after I get off of work, man. I'm getting home. I'm getting set up. I'm gonna get everything ready, man. We're gonna have a chat, man, about what's gonna happen week 5, man. And honestly, over these predictions and what's happened the first 3 weeks, you'll be surprised at who I'm gonna pick for this week 5. And I mean, and some of these are gonna be like an any given Sunday type of deal, but we'll go from there, man. But anyways, y'all been great. Thanks for listening, man. Make sure to go on my Patreon. If you can support anything, man, give me a support. check out my Facebook. Well, you can check out any social media platform. This podcast goes to every podcast platform, man. If you need any help finding out anything, I put it in like 3 different descriptions that it gives me. So go check out the description. Y'all been great. Y'all been good, man. And we'll see y'all till next time. What's good, baby? Thanks for listening. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and follow my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, anything like that, man. Make sure y'all go ahead and click the link. Make sure y'all go ahead and follow up. Check out the next podcast coming up. Make sure y'all check in every day, every week. You never know when we're gonna post a new one. Yo, thanks for listening to Sports Plus Life. Your host, Big Trav. Appreciate everything. Make sure y'all go follow, like, subscribe on whatever website y'all are on right now. Leave some love, leave some comments. Stay tuned to the next one. Thanks for listening.